Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at NECA's line of the last Ronin action figures, specifically all 4 of the Ninja Turtles, starting with Raphael. If Saturday morning cartoons fueled your imagination as a kid and powers your action figure collecting now as an adult, then you're in the right place. Thanks for stopping by and welcome to Saturday Morning Toy Collecting.
And if you like my content, please consider subscribing.
Okay, so how this came about is, I would say at the beginning of the year, I had picked up the very first last Ronin action figure that NECA had put out, and then after that, I picked up Raphael because even though I love the Ninja Turtles, I am at heart a huge Raphael fan. I love Raph, so I like to say that I'm more of a Raphael collector because I pretty much buy at least Raphael from pretty much every wave of action figures that come out for Ninja Turtles. He's my favorite. I love him the most, so I always buy him. So I've had Raph on my shelf, actually in this box, I think I opened him up and played around with him, took some pictures, but I think I put him back in the box and put him back on my shelf for a while. And then later on, what ended up happening was my friend, a local friend, Michael, found Donatello in stores and said, hey, I'm going to pick him up. I think there's 3. I'm going to pick up 3 for everybody who wants them because we have like a turtle collector group here in town. And I think 2 guys picked them up, and then I never got around to picking up Donatello from him. And he kind of held on to him for me for a while. So he had that over the summer. So shout out to Michael for hanging on to that for me for so long. But about 2 weeks ago, I was in my local Walmart and I went to their clearance section, and lo and behold, they had this guy. They had Leonardo, who's my second favorite Ninja Turtle. So I went ahead. I mean, the box was completely damaged. I went ahead and bought him. He was on clearance for $10. I couldn't pass this guy up. So I bought him and brought him home. I didn't do a review or anything. I just, set him on my shelf, started messing around with him. Thankfully, the figure and all of the accessories were completely undamaged. It was only the box that was tore up. So I opened him up, threw him on my shelf. And then I was like, well, I have Raph. I have the first last Ronin figure. Michael's got Donatello waiting on me to just get it, take it off of his hands. May as well track down Michelangelo. So I did. I picked him up off of eBay. So now I have all of them. I just don't have the box for Leo. But let's just take a look at all of them. Let's get them all opened up and take a closer look. We'll start with the package for Raphael. I think they're all pretty much the same. You have this beautiful Last Ronin artwork here on the front. It's that book style opening. You have a beautiful shot of the figure here, photograph of the figure here, and then a window box display with everything, and then you have just some select images on the other side. I'll show you the package for Donnie. Same thing. You've got all of this stuff right there, and then some shots of him behind. And then let's take a look at Mikey, who is the newest one that I've picked up. There he is in the package. There's that nice shot looking really nice, and then some beautiful shots in the back. So let's get rid of all of this bulky packaging that we don't need and take a closer look at the 4 brothers. All right, let's start off with Leo because he's already opened up and out of the package and all of his stuff is here. So he does come with quite a bit. Of course, he does come with his swords as you would expect him to. What's Ninja Turtles without their trademark weapons? These look really nice. They're both identical. They almost look sort of like the animated NECA style Ninja Turtle figure swords. So we have those. We have a ton of hands. He's got 2 gripping hands on him right now, but we have like a fist here on like a horizontal hinge. We have sort of like a gesturing open hand on a horizontal hinge. We have one of those as well, right hand sort of open and gesturing on a horizontal hinge. We have 2 karate chopping hands, saluting hands, whatever you want it, both on horizontal hinges. And then, did I show this one off? Another fist. So we have, left and right versions of all of the hands. He also comes with a very stoic sort of, contemplative, sort of like maybe meditating, frowning face. He also comes with a more angry, teeth gritted face. I love this like little cloak bandana style thing that's made onto the armor. You can't take it off unless you broke the glue, but I like how you can kind of like poke his head down in there, and he's kind of like got his face covered up a little bit. His outfit is amazing. I absolutely love it. All of these little kunai, these little throwing knives, are all separate, and they are loose, and you can put them in. They come loose in the package. I put them in. They have little loops for them to fit here and here, and then two on this side as well. One of the touches that I really like, it's throughout the comic book, and you'll notice it on the figures as well, is this little spot right here of red, and that's going to carry through, I think, throughout all of the figures. And so, you have a little bit of, design right here on the shoulder pad, some more of that torn cloak on the back covering up the shield, and then the arm wraps going down, the little gauntlets, and then we have one extra pad. I love when designs are asymmetrical, and this would, is no exception. So you got the extra pad here, and not on this side. And then of course there's the gripping hands, and he can hold his swords very well. These are very nicely articulated figures. You see here how we have double jointed pinned arms, but even though they are nicely articulated, you're not going to be able to get them in the best poses. You can get them in some decent poses, but they're just not, just the bulk and all of the stuff going on. You're not going to get a lot of like dynamic poses, but you can get them in some poses that are nice enough for shelf display. I am not upset with the articulation on these guys. To me, they're going to be able to get into the poses that I want. And it's more of the shelf presence and the look that I'm going for with these figures, and not really the articulation. But I do think this is one of the nicest Leonardo figures to date. I think he looks really nice. He's very nicely articulated. Detailed and painted. And I just love the detail that they copied over from how they were able to interpret these from the book to the toy form. And so I'm not mad at it at all. All of the little detail, it's very nice. And this is just one of the nicest Leo figures that I happen to have in my collection. Next up, we have my favorite Raphael. And just want to point out right out of the package, this little strap was off. I believe it just needs to be glued back down, like right there, but it is off, and I'll take care of that before it goes on my shelf. He does come with a bonus head, a more angry head. It's kind of yelling and screaming. You can see his mouth or his tongue underneath. And let's go ahead and pop that on, give it a look. And I think that's really nice. You can rotate the bandana. And there you have it. He looks, is that on there well? Yeah. It looks really, really cool. I love his armor here. Like Leo, it's very detailed, very authentic to the comics. Got two little loops in the back so that you can put his sai in there. I would imagine you would probably want to put them on like that. To maximize their space there, but that's really cool that they fit in there like that. He does come with a plethora of hands, just like Leo. Here we have two gripping hands. We have two open gesturing hands, which you could probably use to put the size in like this if you wanted to do that. I'm sure this is the hand that would probably help you be able to pull that off. Let's see here. We get two fists. That's really cool. These are different from Leo. Instead of having the white wraps, they have these dark brown wraps. We have the karate chopping hands. He does come with this throwing dagger. I don't know if this is also called a kunai or not. He also comes with an arrow, and if you've read the comic, then you know why. Yeah, let's get his size in his hands. Raph is just, he's always been my favorite. I love this guy so much. Maybe it's just that he's a hothead, or he's really emotional, or, he's the sort of brute, the tank of the team. I don't know what it is about him that I just love. Maybe it's just the color red. I don't know. I've always just loved him. I've gravitated towards him from the very, very beginning of seeing the cartoon when I was a kid. Again, I love the asymmetrical design. You've got this extra pad around the leg. I love the detail on these knee pads. Those are really cool. But I like that he's got a little shoulder pad hanging down right here. And yeah, he just has a little strap right here hanging down on the side. You can actually see his shell. He's just so big, and the musculature on him is really nice, and I love the color of his skin. So they've done a really, really good job. These are extra pieces here, so they kind of droop down. They're not sculpted on, and that's to, kind of help with the articulation, because he is double jointed around the knees. But yeah, man, Raph just looks so good. All right, now we're going to turn our attention to Donatello, and I really got to look into updating my phone in 2025, because that light back there is just as bright purple as this is right here, but it is coming across as blue as it can. So I apologize. That's probably shifting colors on action figures all the time, and I just can't help it. It's the best camera I have. But again, we're going with Donnie here, who I was least looking forward to in this lineup, but now that I have him out of the package, man, he is a big boy. He is a thick, beefy boy, and I really like his proportions, and I love that he's asymmetrical. Again, you got a shoulder pad here. You have this long bandana, that kind of looks like it continues on, but it's, straps, this piece of strap that comes all the way down. I just really, really dig this. You've got the nice straps and armor on the forearms here, and then you've got this extra armor bit. And I thought his hands were going to be the same as Leo's, but as it turns out, his hands have this extra little bit of armor. So we have 2 fists on him in the package. We have two, let's see, where's the gesturing hand? 2 gesturing hands that have the armor bits on the back. We have the 2 gripping hands for his bow staff, and then we have the 2 karate chopping hands. So it looks like all of them come with the same, the same hands. So it's the same style of hands each time, but thankfully they're not all the same. And then of course we get 2 different heads. So we have this more stoic head, and then we have this one with a little gap in the teeth. Nice little touch here. So let's pull that off, put this on, and I think this is going to make for a better head, because this Donnie, he didn't come to think about stuff. He didn't come to engineer some new, create some new computer systems. This guy came to kick tail and take names. I really like the design of the back of his his gi here. He had little rings and leather. You have a little post right here, a little loop to hold his bow staff, and that slides in, kind of nice. He can carry that on his back. I really like his bow staff. I like the little spot of red. I'm purposefully not telling you guys what this is for in case you haven't read the book. I don't want to spoil anything for those who haven't read it, but I would urge you to definitely go out and read it, because it is one of the best comics I've ever read. He does come with this nice dojo flag that has this little design. This is kind of like a papery, plasticky feel to it. I guess if you wanted to also put this in the back, you could, but it's not going to hold it straight up and down like that. It will be at an angle. But he also, the last little accessory he comes with is this nice little salad bowl for eating his veggies. But I do like this little helmet that he gets, and I like that it's, you can put it on both heads. I like how you can tilt it down a little bit and hide his eyes and make him look a little more menacing, or you can actually kind of push it back a little bit further and be able to see his eyes underneath. I think it's a nice touch. I'm not sure I'll display him on my shelf with this. He just looks too dope like this to do that. But man, I am really impressed with this guy. I thought he was going to be my least favorite, and he's doing it for me. That proportion is awesome. And lastly, we come to Mikey, who also just looks incredible. Probably my second favorite of the armors out of the four brothers. There's just so much to love here. How tattered up and nasty, like his bandana, his mask looks. This little hood that drapes over the back that looks like it could literally fold up over his head. You know, he's got the little torn sleeves here. Very asymmetrical design. Has a full sleeve and orange armor on this side with elbow pads, and then not, you know, just the arm wraps on this side. I love that he has the spots. That's really dope. And he's got some little scarring, and, you know, I don't know if that's going to be like acne on his face, but that's just really cool. There's his little spot of red. I like that they moved the, which is typically for his nunchucks to be held on his back. I like that they've been moved to the front, and the nunchucks, just speaking of them, are on a metal chain. They have little small handles, and I dig it because you can kind of fit these right here in the front, and I think that that looks really nice. That you know, it's just so much care went into this story and into this comic and into these figures to adapt them from, you know, their comic form to their toy form. I love the asymmetrical design here of the armor with the orange on the front, all these little pouches. Gosh, I really think, honestly, seriously, I think this is my favorite out of the four, even more so than Donnie. I mean, even more so than Raph. You have this little strap going around this leg, and then the foot wraps as well. He does come with the same style, same grouping of hands. We have two fists. We have two gesturing hands. Again, all the hand, if you threw them all in a bin, you'll be able to tell whose is whose, because these are different than Raph's. They have the little flat pieces on the back. They're not just the brown wraps. We also get, instead of two karate chopping hands, we get two splayed out hands. So this is a little difference, the only little difference between all of them, and then two gripping hands as well. He does come with two sets of nunchucks, so you do get two nunchucks, not just one. And then he does come with the bonus head and with his little teeth gritted. So let's pop that off. A little more difficult. And again, very much like Donnie, this guy did not come to you know, play around. He come to, you know, what is it? They chew bubblegum and take names. What is it? Chew? I don't know, whatever it is. Whatever it is. He's all out of bubblegum. This guy just looks great, and I dig him so much. Again, I just can't say it enough. I think he is my favorite out of the group. And there you have it. There's all four of the brothers in battle poses with their accessories up on the rotating base. And I got to tell you, these four are a complete and total home run for me. I absolutely love these figures. The first, you know, last Ronin figure was impressive and I loved it, but getting all four of the brothers in their respective uniforms and in their styles from the comics is absolutely incredible. And we've even seen a release just recently from NECA showing that they are going to show, or they're going to be releasing three of these Ninja Turtles in their spirit form, and I won't say which three in case you don't know who the last Ronin actually is. But I just can't say enough good things. I love the Ninja Turtles when they come out and they look big and bad and beefy and they have on new uniforms, and this is just an exquisite comic. If you haven't read it, please definitely do yourself a favor and go read it. It is so good if you are a Ninja Turtle fan. But if you're a Ninja Turtle fan, you've probably already read it and you're not late to the game like I am. So thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching. I super appreciate it. Please continue to check us out over at Instagram at Saturday Morning Toy Collector. I am your Saturday Morning Toy Collector. I'm your host, Mark, and I will see you in the toy aisles.